I don't know how any of this works, so if you're watching, forgive me. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, totally not sure how this works, so forgive me. Um, but I'm playing with the streaming settings, so we'll see what's going on. Feel free to chat with me if you like. So I'm just starting with the missions in the region. Figure that's a decent enough place to start. Welcome to those of you that are here. I really should figure out how to get like backing audio in this and all that good stuff, but I don't have any idea what I'm doing. So this is just starting out. remember the space missions being the harder part. If somebody's watching, I would love to see a comment just so I know the stream's working, because I am having trouble managing it. I know there's better ways to do this, but right now I don't know them. Okay. Oh, Survivor Settlement. Part of the problem is playing these cards in playtesting is they all have different names, so I don't remember what any of it was. I'm hearing my discard go off a ton, but I can't get it to load. So if any of you are talking to me on Discord, I doubt it, but if you are, I can't see you. I know, this is probably really boring. Like I said, I'm just kind of playing around with how to use this software. So, sure do wish I knew how to see the chat. Anyway, let's build this deck. So the goal in this deck, the way that I was playing it, is to get as many different card types out of the game as soon as possible. Now, one thing that I didn't do in testing that I would highly recommend doing in live play is bringing 6 sites, because not only could you potentially put them on an opponent's Nor, but you could not see them, place them out of play, and then that's an extra card type, which is a good thing. So you should absolutely bring 6 sites with you. In terms of which ones, that can really just sort of be, I would bring docking site and ops, all the usuals, just in case. Just to have them. All right. So our primary means of playing is going to be time location and protect the timeline. Temporal conduit is going to be basically our most reliable time travel. And battle bridge is always good. You get the free make it so. Oh, actually, I can't use this one now that I'm remembering it, because you want to use all of the Starfleet tactic. So you can't use the one that makes you be diverse, because that's not. Oh, what is it called? There she is. Humanity's Last Stand. Hey, Maggie. Hi, Maggie. I don't know if you're still here, but I finally saw your message. Trying to figure out how to use this streaming software better. And I'm not doing terribly well at it, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to pull up the advanced search here. And we're going to pull up personnel 22nd century SETI Alpha. Okay, why didn't that work? Oh, game text. Need to put that at lower. So you get 8 unique personnel. That's not a lot. 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I do highly recommend running them in multiple because you can't regenerate them or replace them if they die. So you play an extra one. Also, they're good fodder for discards. So, um, so yeah, Reed has a download that's broken link. T'Pol is the hero in here. She is so good. And when I was testing this deck, I would use Squire's rules because that's sort of standard procedure for testing. And I used super skill dense dual dilemmas so that when you play her, you can get just crazy skills off of, like, for example, I'm trying to remember. Oh boy. Da, 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 da. Well, like just this one, arm steel, right? Isn't that? This gives to fall acquisition and smuggling, so that's not a great one. But there are other just weird dilemmas like this that don't get used a lot that have a crap ton of skills on them and really can um, make her crazy good. So we'll come back to dilemmas though. We were doing on my purple. So once you get the uniques in, and I started with 2 copies of each. Um, I switched to Universal 22 humans. Um, well, you can't run the Borg ones, so they're not really going to help you. Am I remembering this right? Let's see. Your 22 personnel may attempt to native this time. All Universal 22 humans and ships. Okay. So she's a humanoid, not a human. That's a problem with the search there. Jaya is the one you can use. Now, one cool thing about the time location is you don't need a crossover to do any of the universal Starfleet humans. So that's really handy. Can save you a save slot. You can play all of them. Now, if you wanted to play them elsewhere, like to a facility or an outpost, you would need a crossover. But just to play them to the time location, you don't. It's pretty great. So let's see here. So what I do generally when I'm building decks is I add in 1 copy of everybody that I kind of want to use. So Jaya's got navigation, which is useful. She's got greed, which comes in handy. Civilian, which isn't common. Engineer and youth, so she's pretty decent, even if she's not super skill heavy. Admiral Black, treachery and greed. He's just fantastic for getting past um, in the pale moonlight and Chula the game, so he definitely gets in. I didn't run a ton of the Makos because they get complicated. Um, they only really work best in groups. Now you can certainly use them to like splash in skills that you need, um, but they're not the first go-to here. They are extra different people if you're worried about like doing Highlander or anything like that. So that's a neat opportunity there. So so we're looking for leadership, geology, um, officer security or leadership, anthro honor security, engineer officer, officer security nav, engineer exo nav security. So engineer officer security nav, those are kind of our key skills. So if you don't have those, you're not going in the first grab. He's just generally, he is a Mako, but he's just generally good skills. He's got geology, he's got honor, medical, which isn't super common, so we're going to grab a Corporal Scott. Um, maybe, if I can. Corporal Scott is not a mission. He does not go into missions. Corporal Scott. Crewman Biggs, Astro Exo Engineer, kind of not great for the first one. Dallas, no. Guerrero, Science, Smuggling, Stellar, got Geology, not really. Um, she's pretty great. Um, got Navigation, got Anthropology, Transporter Skill, Bio, Engineer. Regenerate's completely useless, but um, decent skills otherwise, and innate cunning's never bad. Garrett, Med Bioscience, probably worth using just for Med Crisis. Um, McDermott here is definitely a superstar. Officer, Honor, Leadership, Security, and Transporter Skill plus Gold Star. You can't forget the Gold Stars. So he's gonna go in. Nelson Kemper, not off the bat. Private Brown, he's got Leadership, Security, Archaeology, which is nice. Bio on a non-med person, so he'll go in. Palmer, Officer Use Stellar, probably not great. Sasha Money, Med Navigation Physics, pass for now. Sean Hawkins, Anthro, Engineer, Security, Transporter Skill. Security Sacrifice is actually decently useful in all cases, so yeah, we'll include him. Sergeant Moreno, Biomed Acquisition Security. He's useful for um, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that's like 3 acquisition or 3 officer classification. So we'll put in him, probably swing back and put more navigation, engineer, astrophysics. He's not bad. So that's our first draft of our card pool there. Um, we'll go ahead and save. And then we will check our skills, this is a really nice feature of the deck builder if you haven't used it. Right now it tells me our deck's not legal because I don't have 30 cards in the draw deck. But even if I come down here, it'll do a big breakdown of all of your skills and your personnel, all of your traits, all of your icons. Um, so, for example, it tells me anthropology is on one of my missions and I have 6 people with it. If we go down to like medical, it's on none of my missions. I have 4 people with it as a skill dot and 1 classification. So it's pretty useful to tell you where you are with mission skills. I like to have um, approximately 4 people minimum for every mission skill. More if this appears on multiple missions. So, like for example, with engineer on 2, I would try to probably have between 7 or 8. Officer being on 3 of them, I'd probably aim for like 10. security on 4, I'd probably aim for like 12 people. Um, and this will show you where your skill gaps are, which is nice. It'll also give you your personnel traits. So, I have a president in here, which is nice. That's another option for executive authorization. Comes in handy. So, anyone watching, I hope you are mildly entertained. Again, this is me just trying to sort of figure out how this works. Um, anyway, so big things that jump out at me right now. Geology, we have it on one mission and we only have one in the deck. That's not even remotely enough. Navigation, we only have 5. So we're going to start and go back through our people and look for our geologists. So I'm going to pull up the advanced search again. We're going to go universal. We're going to go era 22. And we're going to go species human. Human unfortunately catches humanoids, so we'll have to avoid those. And then let's just pull up our geologists real quick. Just look at the geology people. So we have 3, Corporal Scott, Ensign Navarro, and Nelson Kemper. We have 1 Corporal Scott. We have no Ensign Guerreros and no Nelson Kempers. So let's start by looking at all of them. Ensign Guerrero, Science, Smuggling, Geology, Stellar Cartography. Coming back down here, we don't have any Stellar Cartography. Don't have any Smuggling. So just for filling skill gaps. Also, I didn't look at our Science, but Science is okay. But let's go ahead and add in a Science classification. Nelson Kemper, he's much weaker. I do have 2 Archaeology already. So I'm going to double up on Scott's and Guerrero's, actually, rather than using Nelson Kemper. So that'll patch that. Coming back down, let's see, 6 Anthropology, that's pretty good. Engineer, could use a few more. Exobiology, probably okay. Honor is great. Leadership, I would probably add some more. Navigation is another one we're weak on. So let's switch our skill from geology to navigation. And that gives us Jaya, Ensign Tamara, Sasha Money, and Stuart Rivers. So I don't think we put in Sasha Money. I think we put in the others. So looking at Sasha Money, medical, security, physics. Physics, I have none, so that's a good thing to put in. So we'll add one of her. Engineer, navigation, greed, youth. I think she's more generally useful. So we'll add in a second Ensign tomorrow. So now we're at 28 personnel. Let's look at ships before we move on. So checking out our all universal humans and universal ships that are 22. So let's look at, well, first thing we're going to want to get in, I believe it's NX01. Yeah, we're going to want to use our Enterprise here. So we'll put 2 of that in. We can use ISS Enterprise. Oh, no, it's not universal. No, we can't. So ignore me on that. Let's go back to our advanced search. And we're going to pull up Universal 22 ships. So we have a cargo vessel, we have a bunch of Klingon ships, Romulan ships, um, Imperial interceptor we can use. It's not fantastic, but it's fairly easy to staff, and 8 weapons at a planet mission's not terrible. We have the Intrepid, good in the region, has a matching commander in the expansion, and it downloads Grappler. Grappler is going to be really big for us because we don't have any tractor beams, so we're definitely going to go with an Intrepid. Um, Shuttlepod 2, you could do this. You have to have an XO1 Enterprise out to use it, so I don't think it's really worth it. So we're going to go with 2 Intrepids. Let's make it 3 Intrepids. So we'll save the deck again, and we'll check. So this is a good start for the deck. Been streaming about 30 minutes. I don't see that I have anybody watching right now. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I do appreciate anybody who has popped in even for a second just to check this out. If you did watch it, I would love to get some feedback from you on things that we could do to improve this. But yeah, for now, I'm going to end this stream. I'd love to hear from you if you have any suggestions. And I'll pick this up again another time. So have a great evening or morning or whenever you happen to watch this.